First up is Analyze This. This is a 1999 movie starring Billy Crystal and Robert De Niro, my third Robert De Niro movie. And the basic premise is that Robert De Niro plays every single gangster character he's ever played before, except this time he has anxiety. And then he enlists the help of Billy Crystal, who is a therapist. And then hijinks ensue as the two worlds clash. And it's really funny. Like, I was blown away by how funny I found this movie. Like, I just kept laughing, and I was in such a good mood by the end of it. It was great. It was really Billy Crystal who was like the funny one, as you can imagine. Robert De Niro just kind of does, gangstery things. When he tries to be more funny, then it doesn't really land quite as well. But those moments are kind of few and far between. Also, his like fake crying is funny sometimes. But overall, it was really enjoyable. It's kind of like a light parody of gangster movies. I did kind of have a complaint in that, like, it felt like there was a big emotional scene in a shootout. And that felt like the end of the movie, like the big emotional climax of the movie. But then it went on for like another 20 minutes because they didn't actually resolve all the storylines yet. So that just felt a little weird. I was just like, come on, movie, hurry up and end. But it was still really good. Definitely recommend it, especially if you like gangster movies, especially if you know a therapist. Because, like, I think I've seen part of this movie when I was really little, or like my dad talked about it because he's a marriage and family therapist. But yeah, no, it's good. Good times. I really enjoyed it. Next up is The Conversation. This is a 1974 movie written and directed by Francis Ford Coppola and then starring Gene Hackman there. Justin brought this movie to my attention. I think he watched it the other day and was like, oh yeah, it's a good old classic movie. And I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Let's check it out. And yeah, the basic premise is that it's basically a mystery thriller about surveillance. Because Gene Hackman there plays a character who works in the surveillance world, and he records this one particular conversation, and it's kind of the fallout of that conversation. It's really just the fallout of that conversation. And I really like the premise of this movie, and I think they did a good job with a lot of stuff in the movie, especially like the technology. Like, I was so impressed with like everything they showed us was real and actual things that were not only available, that were available at the time. And actually, when this movie was released was around the time of like the whole Watergate thing. So like it was super timely. And then like a lot of the technology that was used in this movie were things that were used with Watergate, which is that's great timing for Francis Ford Coppola. My kind of complaints about the movie is that, okay, so Gene Hackman plays like this super incredibly paranoid character who has like multiple locks on his doors with one of those keys only he has the copy of, and he makes a big deal about it to his landlord. And like he's super like jumpy and stuff. But then he makes like two incredibly obvious mistakes. So like one of them is like he's at a surveillance convention, and one of his rivals puts a pen in his pocket, and then Gene Hackman just kind of like stares down at it for like 30 seconds. So it's clear that he understands that that's a microphone, because that's obviously a microphone that's just planted on him. But then, like, he never takes it out of his pocket until after he realizes, or after it, like, bites him in the ass. And I'm like, you should have known that this was a microphone, that you telegraphed how obvious this was. Like, the guy later even talked about, like, planting bugs on people, and that's how he likes to bug people. And I'm like, yeah, you're just making it super obvious that you planted a bug on Gene Hackman. And it's like, okay, all right, whatever. And then the second one was when, like, this beautiful woman was just really interested in Gene Hackman. And it's not that he can't get beautiful women, it's just that like clearly like you're in the middle of something right now. Now is not the best time to bang some beautiful woman you just met. She's clearly gonna rob you, and then she does rob him. And it was so annoying. Also, it felt like so it's a thriller, and like the really interesting, exciting stuff happened, but it felt like it was just like slightly too spaced out to kind of keep my attention. And that could be just more of a me thing. Like potentially watching this in a theater would have helped me like be a little bit more immersed, just with modern everything. It's really easy to get distracted. So that was probably just a me thing with that one. But yeah, so I definitely liked it. I wish I would have liked it a bit more, but just those two big mistakes just really killed me. But yeah, I thought it was good and interesting. I liked it. If you like thrillers or like mystery thrillers, if you like surveillance, then check it out. Or if you really like Francis Ford Coppola or Gene Hackman, you can check it out. But otherwise, you could probably pass on this one. Though it is a classic. Yeah, okay, I'm done with this one. On to the last movie. And lastly is City Slickers. This is a 1991 movie starring Billy Crystal, my second one to him now, and then Jack Palance, my second one to him. The basic premise is that Billy Crystal and his buddies, who are almost 40, take these yearly vacations that are always these ridiculous shenanigans. And this year they're going on a cattle drive. Isn't that funny? Okay, so I went into this expecting it to be a comedy. I wasn't in the best of moods, and I was like, I just need like some nice, fun, light comedy thing to make me feel better, and it's totally gonna work. This movie is not a comedy. This is a light drama, because it's basically just about like midlife crises and like different. Because all three of the main characters are like in a different place in their lives when they're almost 40, and it's like them freaking out about it. And it's I don't know, man. This really just felt like boomer humor, the movie, and that was really frustrating because I didn't really laugh. There were a few laughs, but just not enough. And like, I just really did not connect to this movie. Like maybe I will in a decade, but like right now, nope. So yeah, it was disappointing. I did like the messaging of this movie though, because it's about like finding like the meaning of life, which is just like one thing you truly love in life, which, you know, it's his kids is what he really loves. Or it's okay to start over when you're 40. It's okay to settle down when you're 40. It's okay to make changes, and it's okay to not have kids. Which that one was really impressive. I really like that part. As long as, you know, you find your true love in life. But it's just, I wanted to laugh and I did not laugh.